Boom! So good evening, everybody, or good whatever it is for you if you are watching or listening on the replay. Thank you so much for being here. I wasn't here last Monday because it was a bank holiday, and I was just saying before we went live in the little lobby area there, community manager at Acts on This, Mr. Lee Petcher, aka Petch, got married on last Wednesday, in the middle of the week. So it's thrown me off completely. I've been playing catch up all weekend, but we are back. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Got loads and loads and loads to discuss this evening. Lots of stuff has been going down for members of ActsOnThis.tv. We've got a wicked Zoom session tomorrow night that I'm going to tease tonight as well. Tell you a little bit about. If you're looking for an agent right now, particularly a London agent, or you're looking at change agents. Maybe you're you're looking for your first agent. You might never have had an agent before. You want to join the session that we've got tomorrow evening going down with one of London's top boutique agencies. So I'm going to explain all of that in a second. Just before we do that, let me just dive into the comments here on Facebook. If you're watching on LinkedIn or you're watching on Twitter, thank you so much as well. But if you want to get involved in the comments, come over to facebook.com/ActsOnThisTV. How you doing, Tom? He says, as normal, I've got news. What news have you got, Tom? Put it in the chat. Let us know what has been going down. And that just goes for everybody. Let me know your week's begun. Anything could happen this week. We say that every single week. So be optimistic. Expect good things to happen. So Sash or Sat, I don't know how you... Sash, I'm guessing, is how you say your name. It says, not had an agent. You're going to want to get involved in this tomorrow night then, Sash, for sure. Sarah says she loved Rob's webinar and so much amazing advice. That was a member-only webinar. I'm going to play some stuff out from that tonight, Sarah, from Downton Abbey's Rob James-Collier joined us for a member-only webinar. Week before last, I've dropped a podcast this week called Table Talk with me and Petch for members of ActsOnThis.tv. Let's just get stuck in. I'm going to start playing you some stuff out. I'm going to go over to the website. Sash, I don't know whether you know Acts on This or anyone here who's never come across ActsOnThis.tv before. It's a website that I've been running for the last 13 years. Basically, every week we either sit down with a top casting director, agent, actor, writer, director, producer, and host a live Zoom webinar with them, or I publish a real in-depth podcast with one of those people as well. Really just to sort of give you guys the inside edge on what it takes to actually move your acting career forward faster, the inside information, how you get in front of these casting directors, how you sign with these agents, exactly what they need, what they want from you. If I just click on the preview features section here, you can see some of the stuff that we've put up on the site over the last couple of weeks. This episode, brand new podcast, this quarter's Table Talk dropped just last Thursday. If you've not checked that out, it's a 2-hour chat where me and Petch sit down once a quarter. Petch brings his notepad, and he brings basically all the topics that have come up in the community for that quarter. So all of the problems actors are facing, some of the challenges that they're facing, the hurdles in their way between where they are and where they want to be. And we just chew the fat literally in my kitchen for 2 hours, basically, talking all about it and hopefully giving out advice that, people... take on board, hopefully they resonate with and they act on to take their career, like I say, further, much faster. Rob Collier, there he is, the man himself. He was on a webinar the week before that. I've got some stuff to play out tonight on that. David Crowley, if you've not seen that session with Hollyoaks Onset acting coach David Crowley, do check that out. That was a real in-depth session on really nailing audition preparation. If you've been getting self-tapes and auditions this year, but you've not been booking jobs, that's a session you absolutely want to watch as soon as you can, and that probably is one to watch as opposed to listen to. You get the audio only for these as well, but we actually go through a Hollyoaks script on that session where he breaks down, sort of like how he would, prepare that script for a Hollyoaks audition or a screen test. So let's start by. I'm going to play out the mashup for Table Talk. It's just a few of the topics we discuss on this Table Talk, and let me know if you've watched it and what takeaways you got from it, or if it's anything that you want me and Petch to expand on, or maybe it, I don't know, sort of like triggered some thoughts within you and you thought, actually having a session on Acts on This where we dive more into that, or have this particular guest on, that would be useful. Let me know. I want to bring as many sessions this year as possible that is super relevant for your career, basically. I want to know what you guys want. So this is a little bit of Table Talk. Petch, welcome back to my kitchen for the first ActsOnThis.tv Table Talk of 2023. How are you? Oh, no, you've got a huge notepad. He's brought his notepad again.
members of our community or just certain actors there on social media that used to put out so much content kind of waned a bit towards the end of last year. They're back on it this year.
You need almost to recognise and establish for yourself what your minimal, what should we call it, perhaps your minimal viable output would be. We're just going to coin a new phrase, your MVO.
How are we getting into TikTok, and how can actors utilise TikTok efficiently to further their careers effectively?
I think because they would take less time to film, you can do more of them, and then you've got a chance of at least one of them going off. There's certain pillars of Acts on This and what we preach that we just talk about all the freaking time, and one of them is be creative and create your own stuff without permission from anybody else.
Yeah.
And TikTok's just the perfect place to do that.
What is in the industry right now that you think shouldn't be or / is outdated?
Oh God, it winds me up. It winds me up.
What are actors doing at the moment that they shouldn't be?
I'm seeing actors not be accountable to themselves. They're pointing fingers. It's Petch's fault. I'm not saying it's your fault, but you know what I mean. It's casting director's fault. Director's fault. It's my mum's fault. It's all these people's fault. Actually, let's point our thumbs back at ourselves.
So basically, you're telling me the radical thing is to just listen to you.
Yeah. Oh, press the wrong button there. Nearly started the intro off again. So, actonthis.tv. If you want to get a membership, you can access the full 2-hour recording of that podcast right now. I can see some people in the chat said they listened to that before they came on the live tonight. So, let us know what your takeaways are so far if you have listened to that. I'm not going to tell you what I was getting annoyed about. That's just in the trailer. If you want to find out what I'm going, it winds me up. There's a lot winds me up in this industry. You know that. But you'll have to go and check out the full thing. But we talk about so much on that chat. And again, you'll see the title of that little mashup there, where I say, actors, you are like so in control ultimately of your careers. We're still seeing so many actors feeling like they need permission literally for everything. That they need permission to email somebody, or I don't know, to create something themselves, or I don't know, just sort of like feel that they, are valid in this industry, and you are so in control of your career if you ultimately, put the hustle in every single day. You do something that's going to move you, closer to your goal. And that can literally be, something simple as introducing yourself to one person in the industry who does not know you so far. You've never had a conversation with. You don't necessarily have to ask them for anything. You can literally just reach out saying, hey, a director of a show, for example, I don't know, a lot of people probably haven't reached out to every director that I've had on actonthis.tv. Maybe you've not reached out to Steve Hughes. You've not reached out to Jordan Hogg, some great directors we've had on recently. Just drop those guys like a tweet with your show reel or something. You never know. Literally, one view of your reel by the right person can completely change the trajectory of your career. You are in control. Of who we see in your work ultimately. So do let us know if you've seen that chat. Like I say, if you're a member of Acts on This and you haven't yet, it's in the members area waiting for you right now. There's a lot of people in the chat here saying they're booking showreel scenes with Chris Stone, which is great. Chris obviously was on doing a showreel surgery with us recently. If anybody's looking for someone either to edit their showreel or shoot them something from scratch, Chris, in my opinion, he doesn't pay me to say this, but is like the best showreel producer in the UK. Very, very talented. He's too good for showreels now. I'm like, Chris, you know what? I mean, this is some truth for you. I'm like, you should not be shooting showreels now. There's just no way you should be doing that at the level of filmmaking that he's at. He should be shooting TV now. He should be leaving all of that behind. So before he does, I don't know if that's his plan, but get a showreel shot by him just just in case, because he's great. So whoever's booking in with him, fair play to you. Drew, good evening. How you doing? Sarah said she's had the best class with Act for TV, worth the 11-hour coach trip. Holy hell, Sarah, where did you travel from? Act for TV, and that's Act 4, the number 4 TV. Great acting classes in Manchester, Leeds and Liverpool, I think, run by Michael Jackson. I started when I left drama school, doing act for TV in Manchester, taught me more, honest to God, in 3 months about acting for TV than my 3-year acting degree at one of the best drama schools in the country did. No, shade on drama schools. They just don't focus on TV. I had 1 week of TV training in 3 years. So fair play, Sarah. Traveling 11 hours, that's absolutely absolutely crazy. Craig's got his showreel scene booked in with Chris Stone. Tom's got a date for his short film that he's filming. Nice one. Tom, Josh has done a workshop with Rachel Smith at the weekend. He's in rehearsals for his theatre show. People are smashing it, aren't they? Nat said she's finished her play. Play draft, just come from a casting notes, a webinar, and booked in a private tutoring client. Nice one. Murphy was listening to Table Talk before this live. Nice one. Well, let us know what the crack is there. And Olivia's filming her first showreel scene with Chris Stone this Wednesday. Nice. It's all happening, isn't it? It's all happening. Right, I want to play out one more clip from Table Talk. Then we're going to dive into some of the stuff that you might have missed if you weren't on the webinar with Downton Abbey's Rob James-Collier. That was all about taking risks in auditions and taking risks on self-tapes, ultimately to just stand out. Not, taking risks to the point, where they're daft, like, you're doing stuff for the sake of it. But really sort of, thinking about how you're going to deliver that performance in a self-tape in an in-person audition. Rob is Rob always thinks outside the box. Some of the risks Rob has taken in auditions, I've been like, whoa, okay, that sounds interesting. And yet he's booked the job time and time and time again. So I'll play some of that stuff out in a minute. This is just a question that Petch asked me. Petch came up with a question where he was like, right, well, you're going to hear it in a minute. Came up with a question where he wanted me to give him like some radical answer on, if you're doing everything in your acting career that you can and you're still not booking work, what else can you do? And I wanted to play this out because the thing is you'll know there are certain pillars around what we coach at actsonthis.tv, and ultimately, that is, making sure that you're on your A game when it comes to your craft. Obviously, you need to be talented. But after that, it really is down to you, where it, not relying on your agent to get in front of casting directors, really understanding the business of the business, really understanding yourself as a product, understanding your casting type, making sure your casting type is congruent with your headshots and your showreel. So when you're writing to casting directors and you're introducing yourself, you all make sense. No one's confused by you. They know exactly what it is that they're buying if they bring you in for an audition. There's a load of stuff that I preach time and time again, and that's because I know it works. In my own career, it works, and literally over the years, it's worked for hundreds, if not a few thousand actors now in the 13 years I've been doing Acts on This. This stuff is kind of evergreen and it does work. But I just thought this was quite an interesting take, because I sometimes think some actors are looking for a magic pill. They're looking for some sort of thing that's I don't know, like a shortcut or a hack or something like that, and they don't exist. But if you do rinse and repeat the proven formulas, the stuff that works time and time again, you will get a breakthrough this year. You've just got to stay consistent. So I thought this was quite interesting. See what you think.
Say you are an actor.
Yeah.
You are an actor. And you are doing the work. You've just got some shiny new headshots. You've got a new showreel that you're really, really proud of. You're putting content out online constantly, self-tapes, TikToks, whatever. You email casting directors. You're doing acting classes. You're taking in all of this on Act on This. You're doing everything.
Yep.
You're still not getting in the room. What radical solution, something that people aren't even thinking of right now, could you suggest?
One, I don't know a single actor who ticks all of those boxes. There's not a single person I see who is doing all of those things and not booking jobs.
Cool.
Right? So if you've got banging headshots congruent with your show reel, you're constantly reaching out to casting directors, giving them succinct emails with a casting solution in them of why you should be in their show. You're putting yourself out, creating decent, consistent work on the internet. The people I know who are doing that are all working. So I don't think you would need to do anything radical. I think actually what you said there, all of this stuff we coach, is the radical action that's required. But just no one's doing it. So you've just got to keep rinsing and repeating. And you know what? If you get to the end of 2 years and nothing's happening, you've really then got to start having a look at what you're sending out. That would be, in terms of radical, this is not really radical, but I'd go, look, am I just banging the same drum I've been banging for the last 2 years. Are my headshots old now? Is my show reel still the same? Am I opening with the same stuff? But again, if you jump into show reel surgery with Chris Stone, if you watch the headshot session with Tony Blake, if you jump on the live calls with all the casting directors, like, you can't get it wrong. The only thing that you can continue to do to improve is just your ability. So I'd be like, well, let's get really honest with ourselves. Are you good enough yet? But actually, if you implement everything that we tell people to implement and you do it for long enough, it is easy.
So basically, you're telling me the radical thing is to just listen to you.
Yeah.
ActsOnThis.tv if you want to get access to the full table talk, and obviously literally hundreds of hours worth of recordings of every single session we've done over the last 2 years with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, directors, producers in TV, the best people. But yeah, that, I don't know, hopefully that resonates with you. There's honestly not a single person I know in our community who is, you know, shooting decent new showreel material congruent with their casting type, making sure their headshots are up to date, congruent with their casting type, you know, sending that as a nicely put together package to casting directors, casting shows congruent with their casting type. And then, you know, whilst they're waiting for replies or whatever, putting themselves out on social media, you know, whether that's, creating their own work, little TikToks, little sketches, I don't know, a web series, you know, whatever. You know, if they're doing all that consistently, it's very difficult for people to ignore you. It's almost impossible not to make progress. And the people who I see doing those things consistently are all working. They're all booking jobs. You know, luckily there's a lot of people in our community, you know, in Acts on This. I get emails from actors every week saying, oh my God, I just want to say thanks. You know, I've now just signed with this agent, or I've just landed this role on TV. I had 2 of those last week. You know, two great actresses who were just booked. One booked a BBC comedy, one booked 6 episodes, the first TV job, 6 episodes of Coronation Street. So it does work. I promise you. Like, Petra was looking for like a radical thing, you know, give me something that no one else is doing. Well, I can't give you that. There is nothing. That would just be a gimmick. It's like saying, you know, let's say you're you know, looking to have massive biceps and a 6-pack. Give me something radical that no one else is thinking about. You know, you're already lifting weights, but no one else is thinking about. You just need to do more reps. It's as simple as that. And that's the same as the acting industry. You know, if you've not booked work yet, just do more reps. You know, as long as you're doing that, you've got good form, like you're in the gym, you know, you're not sort of just, you know, using weights that are too heavy for you, and, you know, your form's off, you're just gonna damage yourself. You're just gonna hurt yourself. As long as your form is good, you know, and you just need to go to the gym more, metaphorically, in the industry, and just do more reps. I promise you, please, like, hang in there. It will pop. Something will shift for you this year if you show up consistently. Drew says, really enjoy the table talk. Finished it this afternoon. Took a lot from it. The TikTok discussion. He said, just gave me some good food for thought, which has made me think of good content ideas. Yeah, TikTok's you know, like, obviously TikTok's been around quite a while. You know, people are doing incredibly well on there. It's a platform that I've only just started using for Acts on This. So do follow at Acts on This TV. If you're on TikTok, Drew, everybody follow at Acts on This TV. I'll follow you back. And it's a platform that, yeah, I'm experimenting with about how I can get the word out about Acts on This and the features that we, you know, that we're putting out on a weekly basis here. But I've seen it absolutely blow up for some actors, particularly in comedy. If if sketches are your thing, it's just massive. You literally, you know, organically, you can receive 250,000 views on a video without having, you know, posted anything ever before. If your stuff is good and it gets traction, TikTok's probably the fairest platform out there at the moment when it comes to getting eyeballs on your work organically without having to pay to play. Like Facebook, if you want anyone to see anything, pretty much you've got to pay to do a Facebook ad. Pretty similar on LinkedIn. Twitter, not as much, because the whole acting industry hangs out on Twitter. So if you've built up good connections, a lot of people retweet your stuff. It's very easy to get eyes on your work that way. But TikTok, literally, you can know no one. You can have no followers. The first video you post, if it's good, you know, can completely blow up, and you can end up with hundreds of thousands of views if your stuff is good, because the algorithm is organic and it just shows people the kind of content that, you know, they want to see. So people have been watching comedy. TikTok is going to present your video. You know, if it's presented to a few people and they all like it, it'll present it to some more. They'll like it, then it'll go, this is popular, let's show it to everybody. And yeah, you can make some real traction quickly. So it's a platform I will absolutely, if it doesn't get banned, I think America are looking at banning it. Then it's a platform I'm definitely going to be playing with a lot this year. Craig said, listen to the full table talk. It was great. Thank you, Craig. Appreciate that. Dave's here for the first time attending live. Dave, thank you, man. Come and join us every Monday night. Hopefully you can join us. And Dom's in the house said, join the community after the 5-day accelerator recently. I've been binging the archive and already feel like I've learned so much common sense stuff that I'd never considered before. Looking forward to tomorrow's live session. Yeah, I'll talk about tomorrow's live session in a second, Dom. If anyone looking for an agent, it's going to be a really, really useful member-only like Zoom call tomorrow evening. So let's recap on our last Zoom call before we go into tomorrow's Zoom call, and that was with Downton Abbey's Rob James-Collier. Like I say, all about taking risks in auditions, just pushing yourself to not just make obvious choices and play it safe. I don't know if I was going to go off on a little tangent there, because talking about sort of we talk a lot about analysing scripts in this, and not making obvious choices. Two stand out because 99% of actors are just going to make the obvious choice in a script. And I've been looking at ways today. I'm going to probably run a session on this soon for members, just on how artificial intelligence can help you with this. It blows my mind what GPT version 4 can do. Anybody who's been playing around with Chat GPT recently, and you've been maybe using, probably if you've been using the free version 3.5, the difference between 3.5 and 4 in terms of how powerful it is just unbelievable. The stuff that I will be able to do with this when it comes to script work will absolutely blow your mind. But I will run a little session for members soon. It'll be like, it's very early in the process of using AI. But I will run a session soon showing you how this can really help you analyze scripts very, very quickly, to be able to make these choices that I don't think a lot of other actors are going to make if they don't use AI. It's interesting. It sounds crazy. And it is, but don't be afraid of it. Robots are on their way to kill us all, but until then, we might as well use them to our advantage. But I'll talk about that in a second. Let's just watch a mashup of this session with Rob James-Collier and what you missed. The full 2-hour chat, if you haven't watched this yet, again, is in your members area, folks. actonthis.tv.
Petch, welcome back to
Start of Downton Abbey, Netflix's Fate the Winx Saga, Channel 4's Ackley Bridge, and that's not it. That was that. I played table talk there. I'm losing my mind. Here it is again. Start of Downton Abbey, Netflix's Fate the Winx Saga, Channel 4's Ackley Bridge, and you'll soon see him in brand new ITV drama The Long Shadow. It's Mr. Rob James-Collier back in the house. Rob, you're back for your yearly Act on This session. How are you tonight?
I'm very good, thank you. It's good to be here. Thanks for having me back. I am super psyched.
Which shows on here sort of like your fondest in terms of your biggest learning experiences?
I think soap is actually, particularly for Northern actors, and for me, it wasn't my first job, but it was a great access point to the industry.
You just did ITV's The Long Shadow. Tell us a little bit about this and like what it was like working with those actors and working with Lewis. Lewis has been on Act on This loads of times.
Absolute legend, genius, lovely man. And also, like I was just saying then, he's very much collaborative about what you want from the scene and making sure you're happy with your takes and everything. So it was just an absolute pleasure. And if he gave a note, it was on the money.
You've just done things that will absolutely make you, stand out from the crowd via taking risks. What are you looking for when you get your audition script for ways that you can stand out?
The first way I view it now is like, right, what way does this read? And it'll have a natural way that it reads. And I'm like, right, that's the way that they see it. And I try and then think, what is completely different to that?
Are you more risk aversive in the room, do you think, as you would be on a tape?
I take more risks in the room. I'm going to make you remember me whether you want to or not. And that in itself is quite it's an attitude, isn't it?
In terms of auditions as well, I find myself dreading them, like you said. How do you kind of get past that?
Is it mindfulness? Is it Buddhism? Is it this or that? Is it a mantra that you can adopt and you keep repeating to yourself? But I search for it by just reading.
I just wanted to know really how you made yourself marketable in them early days.
Just doing 3 acting classes a week with 3 different guys sped my development 3 times faster than the other people who were just doing it once a week. Don't matter how big you are, everyone gets the nerves. So that's a great leveler to know that.
So yeah, 2.5 hour session, I think it just said on the screen there. So that must have, I know we ran over, but yeah, normally sessions are around an hour and a half, 2 hours. Rob can talk. He's been one of my best mates for sort of 15 years, Rob. So we chat a lot, but it's hopefully valuable. You heard him there talk all about, taking risks. He takes more risks in the room than he does on self-tapes. And I love it. I love what he said. What did he say? Like, I'm going to make you remember me, whether you like it or not. It's not in a cocky way. Don't take it in the wrong way. He's not taking risks that, would make him seem arrogant or, like making a bold choice for the sake of making a bold choice. But do go and watch that session. It really breaks down what he means in terms of just doing stuff that, that isn't the obvious. As I say, when I've sat in auditions, I've seen a lot of actors come in, deliver, the same scene in the same way, be given direction and still not really even take the direction, just do it again the same way they prepared it. And it is the ones who come in and just, I've seen it sometimes, it's quite rare, but I've seen it sometimes where an actor will come in and do it completely differently. And the director's like, God, I never saw it that way. And now I can't unsee that. Like, that's that I can't think of it any other way but that now. So it is really diving into the script and not just it's doing the work in it, not just doing the obvious. So do check out that session. I'm going to play just a couple of tips from Rob in a second, and another little video that I've got from you. Just going to dive back into the comments though. James, how you doing, mate? Thanks so much for being here. Let's have a look. Alex is going back to talking about, the rinsing and repeating stuff. He says, I feel like I am doing all of those things. Yeah, I think, Alex, it's just about refreshing stuff, mate. So if you've been, reaching out to casting directors in the industry, you think your show reel is in alignment with your casting type, your headshots are in alignment, your emails are decent, you rinse and repeat that for a while. It's just about then going, right, well, I'm going to shoot something else and just mix it up, and just sort of keeping things fresh, whether that's, a self-tape, if you don't have the resources to shoot something that's a little bit, more of a shot from scratch show reel scene, which would require a bit more budget. It's just for your own good, that as well, because I always find, I don't know how you guys feel, but after a while, I don't know, sort of like I'm less enthusiastic to send the same stuff out. It's nice, innit, to have something new, even if it's just a new headshot, or just one new scene or whatever. But it just makes you more enthusiastic to just sit down and actually do the work. When you kind of jumping for joy a bit around, I've got something new to say. So you've got to sort of use that as motivation. So yeah, if you've been, you've been rinsing and repeating, the same formula for a while, just throw in some new material, mate. I promise you, I just know it well. I know it works. Like what we coach works again and again and again. It's just a matter of consistency and just keeping things fresh. So keep it up, dude. James says, what are you saying here, James? You've just shot. All the comments have just flown up. I've just finished episode 2 of my own teaching sketch. Yes, James is a teacher. That's brilliant as well. If you actually can make sketches or make content around something really really well, you can have a knowledge of that better than someone who's pretending to be a teacher, James. So he's making those for TikTok, he says. So I look forward to seeing those, mate. Definitely make sure you tag us in those. Let's have a look. What else have we got? New scene coming this Saturday, Alex says. Nice one. Josh, how you doing, mate? Josh's in the house as well. Hello from the beautiful sunny New York. Josh is an actor, but he flies a Virgin Atlantic. He's in New York today. You will see Josh in a brand new Netflix show, probably later this year, called Fool Me Once. You'll see him acting opposite names like Joanna Lumley. Richard Armitage is in it. Michelle Keegan's in it. I was at the read-through for the second block, Josh. It gets better, mate. It gets better. Just a couple of days ago, I was at the read-through for it. I need a part in it. I really need a part in it. Such a good drama. Keep an eye out for that, guys. Called Fool Me Once. Right, so how often should I get new headshots, says Tom? Every 2 years, Tom, I would say. Pretty much across the board, every 2 years. If your headshots are older than 2 years old, I know we all like to pretend to ourselves, and I do this, that we're not getting older. Nah, I look the same, you know. I look still young. We don't. What I find fascinating, I've done this a couple of times on social media posts. When I've had new headshots, I'll put a post out with my main old one next to my main new one. And you've got to be objective, but I look older. I look, you know, we're getting better with age, aren't we? We're aging like fine wine. But I'm like, it's only 2 years, but you can tell there are subtle differences. So yeah, again, keep it fresh, and it just means that you've got a, you know, you're maybe more enthused. Maybe you weren't absolutely, you know, over the moon with your last headshots. You know, make sure going into a headshot shoot, you know what it is you want to get out of it. You've got a better understanding this time, maybe of your casting type, what your shots need to portray to the casting directors you're sending them to. It's really interesting. Tomorrow night, as I say, I've got Alex McLean-Williams from McLean-Williams Limited, one of London's best boutique agencies. And she was saying today when I jumped on Zoom with her, just how many emails for rep they get and just how few people include a thumbnail image of their headshot in the email. She says, because I don't even have time. I can't click on everybody's stuff. You need to show me your headshot, because it's that's going to go, oh, this person's interesting. I don't have somebody like that on my books. If you're not doing that, you know, anyone who's done First TV Roll Fast Track with me knows exactly how to, you know, put that elegantly in your email. You know, your headshot is so important. Don't let it age and get out of date. It's like almost sort of like the gatekeeper to whether somebody's going to bother clicking on the rest of your work or not. It can make the difference anyway. It can be the difference between someone going, I'll file that away for later, or, ooh, this person looks interesting, let me just quickly watch it now. So yeah, headshots are important, Tom. Every 2 years, mate, I would suggest. Here's just 3 tips from Rob Collier. Anybody who is going on set soon, maybe it's your first TV job or whatever. I know we've got we've got at least 3 people in the Acts on This community right now who are shooting their first TV jobs this week and next week. This was just 3 little tips I asked Rob for around, you know, sort of being confident on set and just nailing your performance when you get there. So I hope this is useful. When you're walking on a set for the first time now, even sort of like working at the level that you're working at, what practical tips would you give actors now who are in that same position to go on and not sabotage themselves?
Well, the first thing, and it's so obvious, is be off book, as in know your lines, but don't just know your lines that you've gone through and talking to yourself. I mean, get someone to read the lines to you loads and loads and loads of times, and doing it at different paces, slow, fast, really fast, just to make sure that they're in the muscle memory. Because when a bit of nerves kicks in, which it will do, if it's not super ingrained in there, you could be saying it like 10 minutes before, but once the camera goes in, if you just have a little bit of a moment, you can panic and it all goes. It's amazing how you think you know lines, and then when someone gives you a prop or something, you start to panic because you're like, oh my God, I'm focusing on the prop. Because that could be something, someone might come in and the director might go, you know, this scene's written, sat down, I want you standing up. And I want you going over there, and I want you to grab this and be looking through them files and then drop it over there and in the middle of the scene. So by doing stuff at home that sort of recreates that potentially, if it could happen, emptying the dishwasher, juggling, whatever, then you're going to be ready if props get thrown into the scene out where they're not written in the scene or the director wants you to move on certain lines. The second thing I'd say is, if you have any questions about the script, don't hesitate to get into the director early on in the day. Like, tell the production before you're even there, listen, I've got a couple of questions. Speak to the director before you're even there on the day. Like, if it's a week before and you've got questions, just leave a message, say, could I speak to the director when him or her's got a minute, and have a chat with them on the phone to get things that you might be worried about out of the way, or get a sense of what they want. That's totally valid. The third one, never ever be shy to go up to the character who's in the scene, wherever they are, in a nice, polite way, introduce yourself, who you're playing, and say, listen, I know you're busy, can we do a line run at any, if that's what you want. And any actor worth their salt will give you a line run. I mean, if they don't, they're a knobhead.
Boom, I love the way Rob just says it as it is. If they don't, they're a knobhead. So he's 3 points. Yeah, make sure you're off book. Like, you really, before you go on set, know your lines inside out. Every director who comes on, including, we had Ruth Carney, Brassic director, on a few weeks ago. She was saying it's surprised how many people walk on the set of a show as big as Brassic, Sky One's almost flagship comedy, and don't know the lines. Like, you have to know your freaking lines inside out so you can really perform and not just worry about just remembering the words. Secondly, get into the director if you need anything clarifying. What you'll find if you're working on decent shows, it doesn't happen on serial drama just because of the quick turnaround, but if you're working on bigger shows, I should say, then the director might even phone you like before you go on set, just to put you at ease. If you've got any questions about the scripts, ask them on that phone call, what the crack is, or get into them early on the day of shooting if you need anything clarifying. And like you said there, just ask people in the scene with you to run their lines. A lot of actors, I find, particularly if you're going in as a day player, I had a conversation actually with an actor called John the other day about this. Sometimes, because he was saying he'll go in as a day player, one scene in a big drama or something like that, and he'll feel intimidated by the big names in the cast, and he will, be sort of scared to go over and say, "Can I run my lines for this scene with you?" And what we were saying is actually, what he's found, and what I've always found now, is that the people who are the biggest actors in the show, they have the most to do, so they're actually, going to be probably more nervous about the lines because they might have 6 scenes that day. Well, not in a drama. They might have 3 scenes that day. You've only got 1. So, and they're leading the show. So they'll be grateful to run the lines. They'll want to. They'll probably be a little bit more nervous about the lines than you are because you will have, done that scene that you're going to shoot in the main drama, like probably for your audition, for your recall or whatever. You'll probably be on those lines more. But yeah, really know them, nail them, run them. And enjoy yourself ultimately. So just more gold from Rob James-Collier there. But yeah, do check out the full chat with Rob. Honestly, you'll really enjoy it, and he's just funny, isn't he? He's absolutely off his head. He's crazy. Let's have a look. So, Lorraine? Do you have a question? I need new headshots, but I don't know what to prioritize. I do some modeling. I do get new headshots separately from any new pictures of modeling. Modeling shots, no, not gonna. So Lorraine, you've really got to understand how you're selling yourself as an actor. Ultimately, knowing your casting type. You can look one thing in a moody modeling shot, but that's not necessarily going to be your casting type. You might be a really warm, lovely person in real life. You might be really maternal, really caring. You'd be perfect if you're starting off in the acting industry and you're looking for, some of those day player roles in serial drama. You might be, great as the caring nurse, the sonographer, the midwife, something like that. And yet in an editorial shot, modeling for a magazine, maybe the makeup, they'll do really cool kind of makeup. They'll light it really, sort of edgy and dark. And then you'll have this sort of like edgy, dark tone to you. That's not who's going to walk through the door at a casting for a TV show. So it's really understanding what it is you are selling, because we can all look like one thing in one frame of a photograph. And yet how we move at, on TV at 30 frames a second, or in real life at God knows how many frames a second our eyes see, it can be completely different. The way you talk can be different, your mannerisms. I can look really moody if I wanted to in a shot if we lit it really dark. And a casting director might go, "Oh, right, he looks like the thug or the criminal, let's bring him in." And then I walk through the door, I'm more like a cross between Anton de Beck and Alan Partridge. I'm probably not going to be the most moody kind of criminal. I'm not saying I couldn't act that, but I wouldn't be able, I don't think, to do that as efficiently as someone who really was that. Who that was their genuine casting type. So no, your headshots for acting have got to be completely separate to anything that you do modeling wise, and just the way that they're shot is so different. Editorial shots so differently, lots of negative space sometimes. Headshots really are literally just your head, just your face and a bit of your neck. Editorial shots are going to be quite a bit different. Right, so let's have a look. Anything else before we move on to what's going on tomorrow night? Can I use footage from the film I'm going to be in my show reel? Tom, of course you can, mate. Yeah, if you think, wait till you see it. If it's decent, then yeah, absolutely, man. That's perfect way to get new material. And Craig said, I've noticed a few people asking on Facebook actors groups, how long should you give an agent before seeking new rep if yours isn't working for you? It's kind of a question we ask every single agent who comes and acts on this. And actually, this ties into tomorrow night, Craig. I've got a brilliant agent coming on tomorrow night doing a session for all members of actsonthis.tv on Zoom from one of London's leading boutique acting agencies, McLean-Williams Limited. I've got the managing director and the head agent, Alex McLean-Williams. She's coming on to talk all about this, basically, how you approach the agency for rep, the best way to go about it, the best way to just, work with your agent in general. You might be super happy with your agent. You're not looking to change. This session's still going to be really valuable. We're going to be looking at how Alex works with her clients. She's really sort of proactive, and she really encourages her clients to be proactive as well. She'll always give them their submissions list, what they've been submitting on Spotlight. Together they'll work out strategies for email, like nudging a casting director if Alex has submitted you multiple times, for example, to the same casting director, they haven't seen you. She'll give you submissions. She'll give you the submissions list, showing you've been subbed, and then it's like, down to you then to obviously, reach out with a generic kind of email saying, listen, I know I've been seen for such and such a thing. You probably wouldn't necessarily let on for the role you were seen for, but you say, you were submitted for that project anyway. So quite a generic email in that sense. But then, drop them through something that you think might, be useful for them to watch that's congruent with that show. So Alex is super on it when it comes to sort of working with clients to get opportunities. And obviously, Craig, we'll talk about when it's time to move on. We always do that. If you dive into the members area and just have a look, of the sessions we've done recently with agents, if I just dive in, try to think, because we ask that question on every single chat, mate, with agents, like, when do you know it's time to sort of leave? There's so much in here. Let me just dive into the agents section here. Do you know what? With Lucy, even with Atius, I remember us talking specifically about it with Luce, but we talk about it with everybody. There's if you dive into the agent section, you click on show more here as well. You'll see there's about 20 sessions with some of the biggest agents in the industry in here, where we'll go into detail on leaving agents and when it might be time to do that. But do join us if you can tomorrow night, Craig, on this new one, mate, and obviously we'll get some opinion from Alex as well. Let me just play you the little teaser out. This is what's going on, 7:30 p.m. tomorrow night for all members of Acts on This. If you're not a member, what the hell are you doing? actsonthis.tv, get a membership. I want to see you on this call live tomorrow night. If you can't make it, the recording will be in your members area on Wednesday. Actors, if you are looking for an agent right now, or you're looking to change agents perhaps, listen up. I want to invite you to this week's actsonthis.tv live mastermind session. It's taking place on Tuesday, the 18th of April at 7:30 p.m. on Zoom with this amazing woman here, Managing Director at McLean-Williams Limited, one of London's top boutique agencies. It's Alex McLean-Williams in the house. Alex, thank you so much for being here. And what are we going to be covering on Tuesday night then?
We're going to be covering how to approach agents, how to secure an agent, your relationship with your agent once you sign, and to prove that we're really not that scary.
Absolutely. Honestly, Alex is definitely not scary at all. And we're completely on the same page, Alex, around sort of proactivity as an actor working with the agent to get more auditions. If you want to get involved in this, folks, you want to potentially jump online, have a little one-to-one with Alex. We want to answer any questions that are going to help you, move your career forward faster. Get yourself over right now to actonthis.tv/live for full details of this session and every session. We do this almost every single week with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, directors, and producers in TV. Best people in telly, Alex, basically, including yourself, obviously. And we've got a little bit of time now, but a bit of pressure on you. Why don't actors want to miss this session in particular?
To humanise agents, because we still seem to get a bad rep. People are still scared of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, yeah, well, absolutely. There is nothing to be afraid of here. And one thing I loved what you said before, Alex, said there are no stupid questions.
Yeah, nothing. Just ask whatever you like. You might think it sounds stupid, but if you don't know the answer, it's not stupid.
Absolutely. Be there. Come and ask whatever you want. actonthis.tv/live. actonthis.tv/live. Come and ask whatever questions you want. So we'll definitely cover, moving agents, tomorrow night, Craig. I think your gut probably already knows. It's sort of like sometimes, I don't know, I know I definitely early on in my career stayed with agents way too long. I knew I should have left them. But I don't know, it's interesting, isn't it? Sort of like my head was saying, don't leave because what if you don't get a new agent, or just give them a little bit more time or whatever. My heart knew like I should have left 6 months ago, to be honest with you. So maybe your heart already know, mate, but don't do anything rash. I think sometimes just an honest chat with an agent can sometimes alleviate a lot of fear, and can lead to good things happening. Sort of. I think when you have a chat that you might, you sort of like need a bit of a boost. You might be a bit concerned. Agents go the extra mile just to see, if they can, push a bit harder for you that week. But if you already had that chat and you're like nothing's changed, then that it is a business. That's the other thing as well. Separating emotion, it does feel like, I don't know, sometimes your agent is almost like your husband or your wife. It's like, am I getting a divorce? It's just business, and you can leave an agent really amicably and still be friends, and everything can be good. But we shall cover that tomorrow night. Josh says he's tuning in for sure for that one. Will be good to get some advice. But yeah, be there, folks. Honestly, it'll be a really good session. Liz says there really should be a TripAdvisor for agents. There are some right sharks out there. Oh, Liz, my God. There's one in particular that I just think is very... It's going to be very interesting few months, I think, for a particular agent. I'm just seeing things that I'm like, really? Again? But the thing is that all I'll say is any bad actors, I don't mean actors in this, I mean people acting badly. And I don't mean acting, you know what I mean? Behaving badly. I always find that it's just a matter of time before they fall on their own sword. Honest to God, it's why I'm like, I don't know. I'm just so transparent with everything that we do at Acts on This. There's no point in not being. You can't like get away with dodgy stuff for long. People talk. The industry is small. You just do the right thing. Like a guy I follow a lot online, Gary Vee, says doing the right thing is always the right thing. And I always think about that with every single decision that I make. And it's very easy in this industry to just do snide things because actors are vulnerable. They're very often desperate. They're screaming for validation. They'll do anything, for an opportunity. They'll be taken advantage of. It'd be super easy. God, the amount of emails that I get from people, service providers in this industry, offering me hundreds of pounds to send you lot an email selling you some bullshit. Like, it happens multiple times a week, honestly. Multiple times a week. Because I've got a really big email list. Got about 25,000 actors on it. And thankfully a good reputation. So, I know that if I say something is good, a lot of you guys will get involved in it and maybe buy it. And people will offer me loads of money to go, will you just send an email blast out about my headshots or this acting workshop or this class? And I'm like, no, absolutely never. Because you only get away with it once. What happens? I get you all to sign up to something that's shit. And you go, right, well, I'm not going to trust Ross with anything again. And I think people forget about that. There's agents, there's workshop providers doing dodgy shit. And I'm like, you're not going to get away with that for long. You might make a quick buck, but there's a reason Acts on This has been around 13 years. And I envisage it being around at least another 13 years. Because I just think you can't build anything with shortcuts or screwing people over. So just be careful. And if anybody's got any questions around agents or workshops or anything at all that you're seeing being sold to you, if you're not a member of actsonthis.tv, we have a free Facebook group, so you can go and post in the Facebook group and ask a question, and that's just facebook.com/actsonthistv. There's 10,000 actors in there. If you are a premium member of actsonthis.tv, we have the premium community on actsonthis.tv, completely separate. It's a completely private, locked away community. You can post a question in there. Me and Petch will get back to you, and the community will jump in as well. But just be careful. You are right, Liz. There are some absolute morons out there, but there are in every industry, innit? It's not just acting. There's people who are just out to make a quick buck and just have no scruples in every single walk of life. So just be careful. Oh, and one thing I will say, whilst I'm talking about transparency and stuff like that, there's going to be quite a few developments on actsonthis.tv soon. So I am going to launch, probably not in April, it'll probably be May now, so it'll be in a couple of weeks, I'm going to need your help testing this, a brand new community hub. So it's not just going to be the forum that we've got on actsonthis.tv, it's going to be a completely brand new state-of-the-art online community basically that members will get exclusive access to. There'll be loads of stuff going on in there. We'll be able to go live in there. You know, we'll be able to have like live video meetups on the website. You know, directly in the software. You'll be able to access that through your app. If you've got the app for Acts on this, if you've not downloaded it from the members area, we're going to be able to run competitions. You're going to be able to earn badges. There's just going to be loads of fun stuff happening. It's going to completely revolutionize the community in the way that you communicate with each other. You can direct message each other, become friends with each other. It's basically like Facebook away from Facebook, but better. So that's going to happen soon. The website's getting a little redesign that will probably launch next weekend. So things will look a little bit different, but will play just as nice as they do now, but will be a bit slicker. But one thing that does mean, and this does not affect any current members of ActsOnThis.tv, if you are currently a member and whatever subscription you're on, whatever you're paying, that is all you'll ever pay. So if you're currently paying 24 quid a month for membership, that's the monthly rate right now. That's all you'll ever pay. If you got in years ago, slightly cheaper than that, that's all you'll ever pay, as long as you keep your subscription active. If it cancels, that price goes away. You would have to pay the current price that it is. But as long as you keep your subscription active, as a thank you for your loyalty, I always lock you in at that price, so you'll never pay more. Prices will go up a week today, if I can get it all launched in time. For brand new members, so people who have not joined yet, they will be paying more after next Monday. So prices are not going up loads, they're going up roughly 10%. So monthly membership will be 27 quid a month rather than 24. And yearly membership, you still get 2 months free if you take a year's membership, will be 279 as opposed to 247. You'll still get the Ultimate Contacts database completely for free if you're an annual member. But just to give people a heads up, if you're not currently a member, if you join this week, you will lock in that lower price for the life of your subscription. If you get in like after next Monday, you're going to be paying more. So again, just transparency. It's just costs have gone up for me. Unfortunately, I've not put the price of Acts on this up since 2019, so it's been 4 years without a price rise. So they're just going up 10%. But that won't happen until a week today, as I'm live right now. So that'll be like next Monday, which will be the 24th. Of April or thereabouts. So just a little heads up for you. But it won't affect any current members. If you are a member, whatever you're paying now is all you will ever pay. Right. Liz says, yeah, karma gets you in the end. Yeah, it does. Honestly, don't be a dick. Just don't be a dick. Honestly, it will come and get you. And Alex said it's like what Babu Cisse said. No, is this, what's that, Alex? No, is this the right opportunity for me? Because that was what Babby was saying about not just taking any opportunity. Chris Everett's in the house. Main question: how did you feel on Thursday after Petch's wedding? I was fine, mate. I was good. I wasn't really drinking very much, so I was I was sound as a pound. I'm half Scottish. I can take a little whiskey, but I didn't have very much to drink at all. And Alex says, yeah, actors are easy targets, but I think the wannabe actors who want to get famous quickly are the easiest targets. Yeah. They are, but yeah, without a doubt, just be careful. Just be careful. Right, oh god, I've only got 5 minutes to get the replay online. I'm going to go a little bit early, guys, and get this online now. But thank you so much for joining us. Do join us tomorrow night with Alex McLean-Williams. If you're looking for an agent, particularly actsonthis.tv/live, you can check out the full schedule. We've got some great calls coming up. We've got top casting directors like Rachel Sheridan back in the house. Ray Hendry's coming back. Johnny Boutwood, I think, is going to do a session with us soon from Shaheen Beg's office. Johnny is setting up on his own, I believe, this summer, so that'll be an interesting one. We've got some great people coming up, and we've got a brand new, I can't believe this quarter's gone so quick. We've got a new Act on This Answers session. These are like mega marathon Q&A sessions that me and Petch hold once a quarter, coming up in just a couple of weeks as well. So any questions, anything you can help, you think we can help you with, then jump on that, and obviously we will do our best. What should I play you to finish? I'm going to play you the I'll play you the Alex thing again. This is just tomorrow night. For those people who haven't seen it, come and join us tomorrow night at actsonthis.tv/live. Get involved in this session with Alex McLean-Williams, and I'll see you there. Love to everybody. Have an amazing week. Get out there, ask for what you want. You deserve it. Work hard. Rinse and repeat, Alex, and you will get there. I'll speak to you soon, all right? Until then, bye for now. Actors, if you are looking for an agent right now, or you're looking to change agents perhaps, listen up. I want to invite you to this week's ActOnThis.tv live mastermind session. It's taking place on Tuesday, the 18th of April at 7:30 p.m. on Zoom with this amazing woman here, Managing Director at McLean-Williams Limited, one of London's top boutique agencies. It's Alex McLean-Williams in the house. Alex, thank you so much for being here. And what are we going to be covering on Tuesday night then?
We're going to be covering how to approach agents, how to secure an agent, your relationship with your agent once you sign, and to prove that we're really not that scary.
Absolutely. Honestly, Alex is definitely not scary at all. And we're completely on the same page, Alex, around sort of proactivity as an actor working with the agent to get more auditions. If you want to get involved in this, folks, you want to potentially jump online, have a little one-to-one with Alex. We want to answer any questions that are going to help you, move your career forward faster. Get yourself over right now to actonthis.tv/live for full details of this session and every session. We do this almost every single week with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, directors, and producers in TV. Best people in telly, Alex, basically, including yourself, obviously. And we've got a little bit of time now, but a bit of pressure on you. Why don't actors want to miss this session in particular?
To humanise agents, because we still seem to get a bad rep. People are still scared of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, yeah, well, absolutely. There is nothing to be afraid of here. And one thing I loved what you said before, Alex, said there are no stupid questions.
Yeah, nothing. Just ask whatever you like. You might think it sounds stupid, but if you don't know the answer, it's not stupid.
Absolutely. Be there. Come and ask whatever you want. ActOnThis.tv/live.